Every night I hear knocking at my window, even though I live on the 12th floor. My name is Amanda. I'm 27, and I live alone in a small apartment on the 12th floor of a modern residential building. The place always felt safe to me. Secure entrances, surveillance cameras, friendly neighbors, and a security guard at the front desk. But a few weeks ago, something strange started happening. It began on an ordinary Tuesday. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, preparing to sleep. It was around midnight when I heard it for the first time. A quiet but distinct knock coming from outside my window. At first, I thought it might be the wind, maybe a tree branch tapping against the glass. But then I remembered. On the 12th floor, there are no trees, and the only thing visible beyond the window is the endless night sky and city lights. I set my phone aside and listened. The knock came again. 3 precise taps, like someone standing outside was trying to get my attention. My throat went dry. I slowly approached the window, leaving the lights off so I wouldn't attract notice. The curtains were slightly parted, and I peeked outside. Nothing. Just darkness. I told myself it was just my imagination. Maybe something on the roof, or a sound from a neighbor below. But the unsettling feeling lingered all night. For the next few days, everything was quiet, and I started to forget about the incident. But about a week later, the knocking returned. This time it was a little louder, a little more insistent. 3 knocks, a pause, and then 3 more. Now it was starting to frighten me. I grabbed a flashlight and shone it across the window. Still, nothing. I opened the window and leaned out, letting the cold night air hit me. Nothing. No birds, no signs of anything unusual. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe there was something wrong with the window, a crack or defect that made it make noise when the temperature changed. I called a technician to inspect it. He checked everything thoroughly and said, "The windows are in perfect condition." But the knocking persisted. A few nights later, when the knocking returned, I knew I wouldn't find anything outside. I decided to ignore it. I put on headphones and played calming music to drown it out. But just as I was drifting off to sleep, I thought I heard the knocking grow louder. I took off the headphones and froze. This time, there was something else. A faint whisper from outside. "Amanda?" I felt a chill run through my entire body. No one could have known my name. The nearest building was too far away, and there was no ledge or balcony outside my window. I couldn't sleep that night. I sat in my living room, clutching a kitchen knife, staring at the front door. I even thought about calling the police. But what could I tell them? I hear strange knocking. The next morning, I tried to distract myself by spending the day with friends. I came home late, exhausted, and for the first time in a while, I fell asleep quickly. But at 3 a.m., I woke up shivering. The room felt freezing cold. I glanced at the window and froze. There were smudges on the glass, on the inside, like someone with dirty or wet hands had dragged their fingers across it. In the morning, I called my friend Kate, who was into all things paranormal. She arrived that evening and immediately noticed something strange. She said the energy in my apartment felt heavy, particularly near the window. "Someone's trying to say something," she told me. We decided to perform a cleansing ritual. Kate lit candles, burned sage, and recited something under her breath. For a moment, I felt a sense of relief. But that same night, the knocking returned. Only this time it was different. Faster, more frantic, as if someone was desperately trying to get in. I couldn't take it anymore and shouted, "What do you want from me?" For the first time, I got a response, a faint, broken voice. "Help!" The next day, Kate brought a medium she knew to my apartment. He walked around in silence, then asked me a strange question. "Do you know who lived here before you?" I had never thought about it before. After speaking with the building manager, I learned that 3 years ago, a woman named Rachel had lived in the apartment. She had fallen to her death from the balcony. The medium explained that Rachel's spirit was likely trapped here, trying to communicate with someone who could help her finish something unresolved. I decided to investigate Rachel's story. After some digging, I discovered that she had been in a tumultuous relationship with an ex-boyfriend who had allegedly stalked her. Her death had been ruled an accident, but the details seemed suspicious. I took what I found to the police, who agreed to reopen the case. A few weeks later, I learned that Rachel's ex-boyfriend had become the prime suspect in her death. Since then, the knocking has stopped. Sometimes, when I look at the window, I feel a strange sense of peace. Occasionally, I think I see a faint silhouette in the glass, but I'm no longer afraid. It feels like Rachel finally found the justice she was seeking, and now she can rest.